Bai Xiaoan demonstrated the energy on his hand, explaining that it is the energy they harness to unleash their skills. The crow attentively listened as Xiaoan elaborated on the concept of compressed energy, enhanced skill quality, and increased destructive power. The mutant crow seemed unsure of his words, but Bai Xiaoan confidently demonstrated his explanation by using his water skill to attack the boulder. As soon as the water ball made contact with the boulder, it broke into pieces. Xiaoan's small water ball proved to be more powerful than the mutant crow's fireball, leaving the crow shocked. The mutant crow was feeling quite anxious, and he let out a nervous chuckle. Xiaoan couldn't help but grin, fully aware of his victory. With a mischievous smile, he proceeded to describe how the rock had been scorched by the scorching heat of the red-winged crow, only to be doused with cold water, resulting in its inevitable demise. In a clever move, Xiaoan managed to deceive the mutant crow into thinking that he effortlessly obliterated the boulder with minimal exertion. After an hour, the mutant crow was diligently training, honing its skills and preparing for an imminent attack. And that skill had a relaxed vibe. The mutant crow utilized its abilities to launch an assault on a towering peak. The sheer force of this skill was enough to completely destroy the mountain, and the technique didn't cease. It carried on relentlessly. Bai Xiaoan was completely taken aback when he saw this. After traveling a great distance, the vibrant beam came to a halt and burst into a magnificent explosion. Xiaoan was taken aback by what he saw. The crows gracefully perched on his hand. Xiaoan was taken aback by the mutant crow. He was impressed by the impressive talent of the red-winged crow. With a little assistance, the crow was able to grasp it and elevate its skills to a level of minor success. Xiaoan was feeling content and inquired about the progress of his training, eager to see the results. Xiaoan smiled and instructed the crow to simply follow his training method to ensure its accelerated growth. The mutant crow paid no attention to his words, instead happily humming to himself. He smiled mischievously as he just got a clever idea. The crow was contentedly humming to himself, enjoying a sense of tranquility. Bai Xiaoan emerged from his room and made his way to the dining room, where he found Fatty Yuan and his sister enjoying their meal with great delight. His sister was overjoyed to see her brother, and Yuan warmly greeted him. Xiaoan gently touched his sister's head and inquired about the whereabouts of their mother, father, and grandfather. Zio was very upset, and she responded that they hadn't come back yet. Yuan let out a deep sigh as he noted that his father had also been absent from home for several days. Bai Xiaoan was taken aback by the fact that Yuan's father hadn't returned home either. He was curious about any events that occurred in Belan City. Xiaoan was intrigued, and he inquired of Fatty Yuan the reason for his presence. Fatty Yuan responded that school begins today, and he returned so they could attend the Imperial Beast Masters Academy together like brothers. At first, Bai Xiaoan was momentarily perplexed about the reference to school, but then he recollected that he was still a student. Yuan was taken aback when he realized that his brother had completely forgotten about school. Xiaoan asked Alfred to prepare the car. Alfred nodded politely, ensuring him that he would quickly get it ready. "Oh, I can't believe it! His actual name is Alfred." After a short while, the car was prepared, and Xiao Gu patiently awaited his arrival. She greeted, "It's been a while, Master Xiaoan." Upon catching sight of her, Xiaoan was rendered speechless, utterly captivated by her exquisite beauty. With a slight flush on his face, he inquired about her thoughts on residing in Belan City. She responded to him with a warm smile, letting him know that she was doing well in Belan City. The driver proceeded to transport them to school. After half an hour, they reached the prestigious academy of the Imperial Beastmaster. Bai Xiaoan, Fatty Yuan, and Xiao Gu all headed to their class together. As they strolled along, Yuan inquired about the woman walking behind them, and wondered why he hadn't noticed her before. Fatty Yuan made an observation and pointed out that there are several individuals from neighboring cities in their class. He inquired once more about her affiliation. Xiaoan didn't respond because he was confident that Yuan would eventually know. When Bai Xiaoan walked into the classroom, everyone's attention immediately shifted towards him, causing momentary silence to fill the room. Many individuals in the class were already irritated upon seeing him, and it's easy to see why. The girls were thrilled to see him, affectionately referring to him as Master, while a few guys who didn't dislike him also greeted him. Fatty Yuan quietly mentioned that it appeared he was becoming the leader of the next generation in their main city. He informed him that he would be quite busy. Xiaoan was frustrated with his classmates' lack of dedication. He couldn't understand why they didn't put in the effort to improve themselves. He expressed his frustration through angry words. He greeted everyone with a friendly smile. Later, he realized that he needed to have a conversation with his grandfather about putting it on hold after school. He argued that the relaxed atmosphere of the school pales in comparison to the effectiveness of battling fiercely in the real world. As he pondered, he envisioned a cunning predator in hot pursuit of its prey. Some of the other new males in the class observed by Xiaoan, who was encircled by his classmates. When Xiaoan saw them, the screen of the Eye of the Apocalypse showed, revealing that the other one in the rear had S-rank talent, the other had A-rank talent, and the other in front his information was shown. Name, Lung Neo Tian, talent, Darkness Pact, S-rank double, realm, unicorn, beast, not contracted. Another acquaintance discreetly informed him that Xiaoan appeared to be in charge of the central city. He inquired of Lung Neo Tian whether they should assess him. He confidently mentioned his lineage as the grandson of the Lord and casually shared his thoughts with Lung Neo Tian, suggesting that he may have some influential connections. Additionally, he humorously remarked that he resembles a silver pewter head. Lung Neo Tian was filled with anger as a powerful aura enveloped his body, and his eyes emitted a radiant glow. He gave Xiaoan a fierce glare, as if he could kill with just his eyes. Xiaoan was just about to leave. Nevertheless, he sensed a strong sense of hostility, and quickly glanced at the individual. He grinned mischievously, wondering if he would engage in a confrontation. Upon seeing his smile, Xiao Gu felt a sense of concern, sensing that something unfavorable was about to occur. They confronted each other, exchanging intense gazes while their presence enveloped them. Lung Neo Tian grew increasingly frustrated with Xiaoan's calm demeanor. Xiaoan, on the other hand, remained relaxed, acknowledging his own talent but recognizing that he had yet to acquire a pet beast. With a confident smile, he acknowledged that he was far ahead of Lung Neo Tian. Xiao Gu quickly intervened, urging them to cease their altercation. She raised her voice, urging Lung Neo Tian to cease his unnecessary altercation and remind him not to hold her accountable for her bluntness. Lung Neo Tian couldn't help but be captivated by her beauty, causing a slight blush to appear on his face. He stumbled over his words and expressed regret for initiating an unnecessary conflict. His friend was taken aback, questioning what he was saying. His other friend was surprised by his decision to give up so soon. Prior to the man being able to provide an explanation, a loud interruption occurred as someone called out to Bai Xiaoan, reminding him of a previous commitment. She confidently raised her voice, giving Bai Xiaoan clear instructions to engage in combat. Xiaoan was thoroughly impressed as he showered Little Phoenix with praise. He thought that a confrontation might help those misbehaving children gain some perspective. He took a moment to reflect on Lung Neo Tian and Xiao Gu, realizing that it was time to shift his attention away from internal conflicts. He glanced at Little Phoenix and agreed to engage in combat with her. Xiaoan inquired about any issues with utilizing the school ground. With a smile, Little Phoenix readily shared the information without the need for him to ask. With her arms crossed and a confident smirk on her face, she couldn't help but reflect on the intense training she had dedicated herself to for the past 2 months. This was the moment she had been waiting for. They both headed to the school training ground, where a student eagerly announced that young Master Bai and Feng were about to engage in a thrilling battle. And he added that it would be a clash of powerful spirit beasts. The other student recalled something and urged the others to hurry before the seats were all taken. A friend of Lung Ao Tian's from behind chimed in, mentioning that Bai Xiaoan and Feng Qianyu appear to have some animosity, as they are eager to engage in a battle involving spiritual beasts. Additionally, his companion mentioned that they could also use this as a chance to observe the impressive abilities of the students in Belan City. Lung Ao Tian agreed with his friend's suggestion and gave instructions for them to go and observe, gathering valuable information. Xiaoan and Feng Qianyu stood on the training ground, prepared for their upcoming battle. Xiaoan suggested engaging in immediate action, emphasizing the importance of avoiding unnecessary delays. Feng Qianyu observed her fellow students gathered on the training ground, aware of their presence as spectators. With confidence, she declared her intention to triumph over her opponent, boldly proclaiming that her abilities would be on full display for all to witness. She began to unleash her power as she prepared to summon her loyal beast. At that moment, an immense surge of power emanated from her, and fiery wings sprouted from her back. And suddenly, a portal to another dimension appeared. A vibrant, fiery purple-red figure suddenly materialized before everyone, accompanied by a sharp cry. This creature possesses an intriguing aura, with its bird-like form, vibrant red beak, and striking purple-red feathers. It exudes an air of mystery, further accentuated by the flickering flames that envelop it. Bai Xiaoan found this a bit unexpected. He had never encountered such a unique creature before, with its bird-like spirit. This piqued his interest. Indeed, Xiaoan, with his exceptional talent, has no concerns about such matters. Considering this, he immediately utilized the Eye of Apocalypse to assess the condition of Feng Qianyu's pet beast. Race: fiery red-beaked purple feather kite. Fire type: realm, main black iron. Talent: Phoenix Cry. S rank: primary amethyst. Qualification: skills: impressive Phoenix Song, purple beginner, gunpowder impact, blue skilled, burning fire, blue skilled. Xian was pleasantly surprised to discover that the spiritual beast from the original world has the ability to grow to the amethyst level. With a grin of anticipation, he found himself captivated by the upcoming battle. He was quite impressed by the fact that the Feng also had many secrets. Feng Qianyu then asked him how he finds her spirit beast, wondering if it appears unusual to him. With a confident grin, she informed him that he had yet to lay eyes on her beloved beast. She playfully inquired if she should reveal its name. Xiaoan informed her that the Feng family possesses exceptional skills, particularly in enabling her to establish a contract with a rare purple grenadier, a creature not commonly found in the Zhu Chao world. He politely informed her that the outcome of this battle would remain unchanged. Feng Qianyu was curious about how he managed to uncover the true identity of the purple grenadier. Xiaoan urged her to hurry, warning that summoning his spirit beast would give her no chance of winning. She expressed frustration, criticizing him and noting his arrogance. The purple grenadier was formed with great skill and precision. Xiaoan quickly realized that she was attempting to perform the same trick as Qi Yan. Xiaoan effortlessly evaded the attack. The purple grenadier readied itself to employ another technique, launching a surprise attack from behind. Upon witnessing this, Xiaoan remained unfazed, as he had become quite certain that this maneuver was being employed against him once more. A vibrant burst of fiery skill consumed him. Everyone was surprised, thinking that he might be dead. Ao Tian muttered, wondering if the winner had been decided so quickly. A fire was raging in Xian's vicinity, yet his hand emerged unscathed. With a swift motion of his hand, the blazing inferno vanished. Urging her on, he encouraged her to unleash her most powerful attacks. She couldn't believe how effortlessly he pulled it off. Everyone was taken aback by the girl's impressive ability to control beasts, especially considering she was a new student. One student inquired if anyone had witnessed the impressive display of skill by that man, effortlessly blocking the spirit beast's skill with a single hand, showcasing his own remarkable abilities. Xiao Gu couldn't help but smile with delight, thinking to themselves how incredibly dashing Master Xiaoan appeared. Feng Qianyu muttered under her breath. She instructed her purple grenadier to execute that maneuver. Feng Qianyu effortlessly harnessed her beast's power. The Purple Grenadier utilized its expertise, showcasing the impressive Phoenix Song's skill. The attack was incredibly strong, causing everyone to instinctively shield their ears. However, the attack was not directed towards them, instead, it targeted Bai Xiaoan. Consequently, he bore the brunt of the assault. Swiftly, he summoned a water barrier to shield himself from harm. The impact of the attack reverberated throughout the entire stadium, causing it to tremble. The attack proved to be overwhelming for Bai Xiaoan, who clenched his teeth while desperately trying to defend against it. And everyone was surprised. After the attack, Feng Qianyu continued her relentless pursuit, commanding her loyal beast to incapacitate him and impart a valuable lesson. Xiaoan was quite impressed that this skill managed to penetrate his protective shield. He trembled, his strength drained by the assault. A phoenix cry came from the Purple Grenadier. Prompted by his frustration, Xiaoan called upon his trusted companion. At that very moment, a massive fish with gleaming white scales emerged. The gigantic white fish was incredibly large, making the small Purple Grenadier appear minuscule in comparison. The Purple Grenadier was filled with fear and trembling when he realized just how small he was in comparison to the enormous white-scaled fish. The enormous white-scaled fish swiftly swatted the Purple Grenadier with its tail, sending it flying. The Purple Grenadier was propelled with such force that it soared across the ground like a speeding projectile. Upon witnessing her beast, she was taken aback by its state, having been swiftly incapacitated by a single blow from the colossal fish with its gleaming white scales. The giant white-scaled fish and Xiaoan exchanged a serious glance, prepared to strike. Feng Qianyu reluctantly admitted defeat to Bai Xiaoan. Bai Xiaoan stood there composedly, questioning Little Phoenix if she had overlooked something. The redhead experienced a brief moment of confusion. It took her a moment to grasp his meaning, and anger coursed through her as he realized that the bet had nearly slipped her mind. Feng Qianyu nervously shifted in her seat, beads of sweat forming on her forehead as she anxiously awaited his request. With a deep breath, she mustered up the courage to ask him what he needed her to do. Bai Xiaoan approached her and softly spoke into her ear, causing a shiver to travel down her spine. Startled, she quickly stepped back, her face turning red with embarrassment. The unexpectedness of Xiaoan's comment caught her off guard, as she had been advised to wait for it. He casually turned around and mentioned that there's no drama, suggesting that they should go. All of a sudden, the entire Belan city began to tremble. Everyone, including Bai Xiaoan, was taken aback when everything started shaking. People were curious about the situation. A voice from the crowd exclaimed that there was an earthquake. The students quickly scattered in different directions. Bai Xiaoan remained composed as steel beams descended towards him, confident in his assured protection. Suddenly, Angelica and Pony appear out of nowhere. They utilized their skills to safeguard Xiaoan. A barrier suddenly materialized, intercepting the imminent collision of steel beams and other objects, preventing any harm from befalling them. Pony informed her master about the potential risks of this location. Angelica kindly requested him to promptly return to the Lord's manor. Xiaoan inquired about the situation from Angelica. Angelica responded that she was not sure. However, she did have a feeling. Xiaoan couldn't shake off a sense of unease. The city of Belan was rocked by even more tremors, causing numerous buildings to erupt in explosions. Meanwhile, up in the sky above Belan City, 3 planes were soaring through the air, gracefully gliding over the cityscape. The aircraft were adorned with a distinctive black spider symbol. Within the spacecraft, the members of the magic spider cult and a small number of spiders observed the devastation unfolding in the city. The leader inquired about the delay in fixing the shield by the individuals inside. The woman responded that she hadn't received a message from Agent Number 2. She mentioned that there had been an earthquake, which caused a delay in fixing the shield. The leader exclaimed with enthusiasm that this earthquake was a positive occurrence. The leader instructed the woman to prepare the explosion fire spiders. The woman respectfully nodded, ready to carry out the leader's command. As he sat in the car, he inquired about the events from the Eye of the Apocalypse. The Eye of Apocalypse began his search for the cause of the earthquake in Balan City. The Eye of Apocalypse revealed to him that he has attained a divine understanding, indicating that he possesses the answer. He provided an explanation, stating that the close proximity of the two worlds leads to a clash of unique barriers. This, in turn, sets off a series of reactions, resulting in tremors and loud noises. Bai Xian was taken aback by the news. He gave careful consideration to the proximity between two worlds. He wondered about the consequences of the convergence of two hidden realms. The Eye of the Apocalypse observed the aftermath of the collision between the two worlds of Zhu Chao and an unfamiliar realm. He received a clear message from the Apocalypse, indicating that in the initial 3 months of the integration of two worlds, there will be seismic activity and tremors of different intensities throughout the secret world of Zhu Chaos. Within a span of 3 months, the conflict is expected to gradually ease, leading to the formation of a unique rift that will ultimately bring together the two worlds. In just 1 year, the enigmatic realms of Zhu Chao and the unknown world will merge, creating a clandestine realm of unparalleled significance. Xian smiled and thought to himself that this was actually quite positive. And numerous buildings were catching fire. The barriers surrounding Balan City began to fade away. Bai Xiaoan was immediately concerned when he noticed that the shield of Balan City had disappeared. He pondered whether the shield generator had been tampered with. And sure enough, the shield had disappeared. The leader chuckled with great delight. The leader decided to load the spiders into a cannon and launch them into the city. Many spiders have been let go in Balan City. Given the gravity of that realm, the spiders descended even more rapidly. A few of those spiders headed directly towards Xian's car. Just as they were about to collide with the car, a warning flashed before him on multiple screens, alerting him to the imminent danger. Bai Xian called out to Angelica and Pony, urging them to activate their defenses promptly. Pony and Angelica were taken aback. Without hesitation, they swiftly encircled the vehicle with a protective barrier. They both did it simultaneously, resulting in a stronger barrier. While on the bridge, the spiders landed and caused an explosion. In the combat hall of the City of the Lord's Palace, a computer alarm blared urgently. A number of employees at the workplace exclaimed that Balan City was about to enter a state of high alert. Yuan Xiaoqing urgently informed Jing Cheng about a powerful earthquake that struck Balan City, with a magnitude of 8 or higher. The exact details are still under investigation. He was in a state of panic, describing how the energy core of the shield had been rendered immobile by mysterious fire spiders. He mentioned that the situation is quite serious. Jing Cheng instructed the man to dispatch workers to fix the energy core and rally all the beast masters in Balan to assist in safeguarding the city. He mentioned that professionals from the Public Security Bureau and the city's palace all participate in the earthquake relief efforts. Every one of those individuals greeted Jing Cheng as they prepared to carry out his instructions. He pondered quietly, contemplating a possible connection between the spider clutch and the recent earthquake. The person who stood beside Jing Cheng let out a laugh, assuring Lord Bai that he was overanalyzing the situation. He inquired about the methods to trigger an earthquake. He mentioned that it was merely a coincidence. A public security beast master informed Jing Cheng that the Awakening Hall is currently under attack and requested immediate support, according to his statement. Jing Cheng rose to his feet, his teeth clenched tightly. With a surge of anger, he forcefully placed his hands on the desk. It dawned on him that the spider cult's intentions were to annihilate the Awakening Hall and undermine the very core of Balan City. Jing Cheng urged the others to quickly rally and provide assistance to the Awakening Hall, noting that Lord Wu's defenses won't hold out much longer. Returning with Xiaoan, he, Pony, and Angelica, they stepped out of the car, which had unfortunately been damaged. Angelica was inspecting the car after it came to a halt. She informed the young master that the car was in a state of complete ruin. She mentioned that they may need to walk. As he glanced in that direction, He couldn't help but be taken aback by what he saw. He became aware of an ongoing assault on the awakening hall. He felt concerned when he spotted an aircraft, and it seemed to him that this was the spider cult. Upon learning the news, Angelica was filled with frustration, expressing her disbelief at those individuals whom she instantly recognized. All 3 aircraft were hovering in front of the awakening hall. The leader mentioned that it's about time. A beast master from public security urgently called out for someone to extinguish the fire. He mentioned that there were people over there who are wounded. However, just as he was about to take action, he became aware of 3 objects approaching him. They descended rapidly, like an explosive force. They all ended up crashing onto the ground. A beast master from the public security was unfortunately struck by this incident, resulting in his untimely demise. After the dust and debris settled, it became apparent that the creatures were actually spiders. One of them exclaimed in terror while the other tried to calm them down, explaining that it was a ghost-faced spider. A multitude of ghost-faced spiders launched a relentless assault, swiftly dispatching numerous beast masters from public security. The air filled with the resounding roars of the spiders as onlookers urgently called for a strategic withdrawal. The individual wearing the green coat inquired about the current situation. A representative from the Public Security Department was providing an update to dongua and requested confirmation if the message was received. They were both startled by the loud noise coming from the door. The commander called out for everyone to prepare themselves. He was nervous about what lay beyond the door. 3 spiders suddenly burst through the door, causing the commander to shield his eyes from the dust and debris. There was a sense of surprise among everyone as they witnessed the unexpected moment when he attempted to shoot the spider. However, their shock quickly turned to horror as the spider swiftly retaliated, overpowering him and causing instant fatality. The commander was taken aback by the failure of the shield. He unleashed his power, preparing to summon his loyal creature. He called upon his loyal companion, the beast, with a resounding cry of "Xieji!" And suddenly, his loyal companion emerged. He instructed his comrades to form a shield wall. Everyone got ready to form a shield wall. Once everyone was prepared, they erected a shield wall. The commander instructed their loyal companion to ensure the safety of the precious crystal. As he spoke, he and his loyal companion Beast joined forces to fortify the shield wall. They were given clear instructions to hold the core. Once the shield wall had been reinforced, the commander casually advised one of the beast masters from the public security to exercise caution and avoid engaging in intense combat, instead opting to hold off the enemy for a brief period. The security personnel appeared slightly flustered. He let out a frustrated sigh and muttered about how, despite all those years, nobody had ever dared to trespass on the awakening hall. He inquired about the possibility of retiring securely. The commander then enthusiastically urges the others, shouting for Belan to not give up. The spiders eagerly charged at the shield wall, emitting a thunderous roar. The spider quickly intensified its efforts to dismantle the shield wall. It unexpectedly crashed in the shield wall. The crash echoed through the shield wall, catching the attention of everyone within. The commander quickly stepped in to calm any concerns, assuring the troops that the shield would hold strong for an extended period. As the firewall unexpectedly cracked and opened. Upon noticing the crack, the spider skillfully deployed its web, deftly maneuvering into the crevice of the shield wall. The spider exerted maximum effort to extract the individual from within the protective barrier. The spider accomplished its task as there was a larger opening for all the spiders to enter the shield wall. The individual was taken aback and expressed frustration, realizing the inevitable outcome. All 3 spiders entered with a clear intention to eliminate their targets. However, just as the spiders were about to carry out their mission, the commander swiftly and skillfully launched a surprise attack, causing a powerful explosion upon impact. The area was filled with dust and debris, and the commander was aware that they hadn't eliminated their targets. He firmly reminded everyone to focus on their fire, and he instructed them to extinguish it. The ghost-faced spiders utilized their impressive speed, leaving the beast masters from the public security unable to react in time due to their overwhelming swiftness. The commander let out a frustrated exclamation, realizing that their speed was overwhelming. The commander was suddenly confronted by a menacing spider, poised to attack with a fierce roar. With a commanding gesture, he boldly unleashed the power of his weapon, causing a flurry of spikes to erupt from the ground. The spikes impaled the spider, rendering it immobile, yet it managed to survive. The commander let out a sigh of relief, grateful that the ordeal had come to an end. He was curious about why Lord Bai hadn't arrived yet, considering that the shields were nearly depleted. Out of nowhere, the spider began emitting steam, causing quite a stir among everyone present. At that very moment, emerging from the spider's back, a member of the spider cult appeared. The commander spotted an individual atop the spider and urgently alerted others to the presence of an intruder. The spider cult leader brandished a powerful weapon towards the beast masters of public security. Making a bold declaration to all present, she proclaimed that her cult had infiltrated their world and urged them to embrace this new reality. She discharged a sophisticated weapon, and upon impact with the ground, it detonated. There was a significant loss of life, leaving everyone in shock. However, the commander was prepared and successfully deflected the explosion. The woman and two others quickly rushed forward in a super speed to attack. Upon encountering the beast masters from the public security, they swiftly eliminated them without hesitation. The professional beast masters from the public security fired their weapons in frustration, their vision obscured by the swirling dust and debris. They anxiously searched for any sign of the elusive trio of women, unsure of where they would strike next. The individual sensed an approaching presence and swiftly activated the weapon in their possession. Indeed, he determined that the crazy lady was going to stab him. The spider enthusiast took a step back in surprise. He quickly turned around and noticed his fellow soldiers were hurt. He raised his voice, urging others to prioritize the safety of the living by evacuating the wounded. The commander approached the situation with a focused demeanor, fully aware of the responsibility resting on their shoulders. Their loyal beast stood by their side, its eyes shining with determination. The commander instructed his loyal creature to activate the crystal space, its eyes glowing brighter as it let out a mighty roar. Many rocks began to rain down from the sky, a result of the beast's utilization of the crystal space technique. As the rocks tumbled down, they began to form a dome. By the time the three spider ladies realized it, it was already too late. The commander and three spider ladies found themselves trapped in the dome. And this allowed the beast masters from public security to make their escape, enabling them to regroup and recover. The woman with fiery red hair inquired the commander about his potential retirement, as he seemed a bit worn out from employing this particular technique. However, he still possessed the vigor to continue battling. She inquired about his motivations and playfully questioned whether he aspired to earn a modest salary of a few hundred yuan. The commander grinned, explaining that she wouldn't comprehend. She instructed the two women accompanying her to bring him over, and they immediately charged towards the commander, ready to engage in combat. One individual battled the pet creature, while the other engaged in combat with the commander. The commander displayed great courage as he wielded his weapon. The woman had different intentions, and she unleashed her sophisticated weapon with the intention of eliminating him. The weapon and the arrow both emitted a radiant glow as they powered up. She released the arrow, and it soared directly towards him. However, amidst the chaos of battle, the commander suddenly became aware of an object hurtling towards him at an astonishing speed. His eyes widened in shock as he realized it was an arrow, and he cursed his inability to react swiftly enough to evade its trajectory. Prior to the commander's potential demise, his loyal companion roared and emitted a radiant aura and skillfully intercepted the arrow. Seizing this momentary advantage, the commander swiftly retaliated against the deranged spider assailant. However, just in the nick of time, the woman swiftly leaped out of harm's way. However, she failed to notice the unexpected arrival of the commander's beloved creature right behind her. But after a moment, she felt a presence behind her. The commander's pet beast utilized the crystal on its head to make a swift and deadly strike towards her. But she displayed remarkable reflexes and managed to evade the attack, narrowly avoiding a gruesome fate. The commander seized the opportunity to launch an energy blast at the formidable spider lady, but she skillfully evaded the attack. The commander readied himself for another assault, and he attacked. She skillfully dodged the slice attack and narrowly avoided the technique. Fortunately, she managed to avoid it just in time. Another spider woman emerged from behind the commander. She produced 2 knives and lunged at him just as he was about to attack. The commander skillfully employed a barrier to thwart her assault. They engaged in a flurry of attacks and evasions, each one swiftly countering the other's moves. The commander smiled with anticipation as he prepared to unleash a unique technique. He employed a unique approach to confront her. The technique forcefully struck her, causing her to stumble backward. The commander remarked that even after all those years, the spiders haven't changed a bit. He vehemently declared his determination to protect the awakening core from the spider cult. For as long as he, Wu Xinghan, is present. The passionate spider enthusiast raised her voice, expressing her disagreement with the older gentleman's statements. She found herself holding a brand new weapon. Using her new blade, she effortlessly sliced through Wu Xinghan's weapon, leaving him wide-eyed with shock. He was taken aback by the realization that the 5 elements were completely separate from each other. They held each other back, and he was aware of the wooden restraints. But just as he was about to speak further, his eyes widened in realization of the element that limited his own elemental abilities. Just as the wild spider lady was about to attack Wu Xinghan, his loyal beast stepped in front of him to shield him from harm. The woman who was obsessed with spiders took a step back in surprise, while the leader expressed gratitude to Huiji for rescuing him. His pet creature then utilized its own ability to confront the eccentric spider woman. Just as it was about to reach her, she swiftly leaped into action, unleashing 3 deadly blades. Those landed in front of Wu Xinghan, who was taken aback by their sudden appearance. He let out a frustrated exclamation, fully aware of their actions, and feeling pressed for time to respond. The eccentric spider enthusiast spun around, causing a sudden explosion where Wu Xinghan and his loyal creature stood. However, the gentleman suggested that despite his fatigue and heavy breathing, he assured the eccentric woman that he would persevere. As long as he remained alive, the crystal space will remain intact. He mentioned that he's aware of her lack of fear when it comes to eliminating the deacon of the Temple of Awakening. Wu Xinghan smiled faintly and warned her that she would be pursued. The boss lady asked Wu Xinghan to refrain from exaggerating. She mentioned that they have been actively looking for him for quite some time. The eccentric spider enthusiast leaned in close, emphasizing that even the most formidable crystal space defense has its limits. She mentioned that they were well prepared this time, bringing along the shadow hunting spider to shatter his delicate crystal enclosure. She instructed him to pay attention as they witnessed the beginning of Wu Xinghan's crystal space cracking. The spiders were causing the crystal space to break, with each crack appearing larger than the last. The crystal space shattered entirely, leaving the commander in despair as they realized their impending doom. He felt remorseful as he was unable to safeguard the awakening stone, and he silently apologized to Lord Bai. But as the space crystal brook glimmered, a radiant light caught the attention of the peculiar spider lady. Curiosity piqued, she peered outside the crystal to investigate its source. A radiant glow emanated from an Ozaru pet beast, while bolts of lightning danced in the air around it. He expressed his anger loudly, and he quickly laughed at the crazy spider woman. The spider lady was taken aback, caught off guard by the sudden turn of events. She barely had a moment to respond before her assailant lunged at her, ready to strike. However, just as he was about to harm her, the spider stepped in and thwarted the assault. Yuan Xiaoqing, who emerged from behind it. He inquired about Lord Wu's well-being. Wu Xinghan inquired about his well-being, wondering if he appeared to be alright. The pet beast's fist crackled with additional lightning as it unleashed a powerful punch. Yuan Xiaocheng expressed his frustration, mentioning that even in moments like these, he remains in a sour mood. He informed him that Lord Bai and the rest would be arriving shortly. At that very moment, Jing Cheng's crane gracefully soared overhead, prompting Yuan Xiaocheng to break into a wide grin. He then casually informed the commander that Lord Bai had arrived. Wu Xinghan let out a tired chuckle, unsurprised by Jing Cheng's continued enthusiasm for the flashy entrance. Jing Cheng was prepared for a fierce encounter, his pet beasts eyes shining brightly. Jing Cheng skillfully directed his crane to capture it, effortlessly lifting the spider with its claws. With remarkable velocity, the red-haired gentleman swiftly took out his weapon while mounted on his loyal pet beast. He approached the spider on his horse, preparing to engage in combat. He utilized his sword to strike the spider using his own techniques, causing the spider to emit a resounding cry of agony. Jing Cheng informed the lady that the spider cult's nipper had arrived, urging her to take immediate action to stop them. A powerful aura emanated from his body as he expressed his frustration over the failed operation. He issued a stern warning, urging her and her teammates to surrender immediately. The other woman inquired to the spider lady for guidance, as she held the leadership role in this endeavor. The crazy spider lady glanced at them and informed them that they were switching to Plan B. She assured them that she would handle them while they proceeded to. But before she continued, the woman behind her interjected, politely asking her to hold on for a moment. She suggested that she should let her handle this risky task, and as she spoke, her mask emitted a small puff of steam. After removing her mask, she casually explained to her boss that she has a younger sister, who still requires some care. She shared that throughout her life, she has experienced a prolonged period of solitude without any family or connections. She hopped onto the spider's back, catching the lady boss off guard. With a warm smile, she politely requested her boss to excuse her this time. The boss lady handed her a mysterious weapon and instructed her to leave. She glanced at the weapon, fully aware of the risks that lay ahead in this mission. She tightly gripped the weapon, fully committed to the mission at hand. Suddenly, the gun emitted a soft pink glow. They all made an X with their arms, and they shouted simultaneously, "For the spider cult." She tossed smoke bombs towards Jing Cheng and the rest, assuring her comrade that she would provide cover. Jing Cheng activated a barrier to shield himself and his comrades. All 3 smoke bombs detonated, releasing the smoke they contained. People quickly shielded their faces as they realized the presence of a smoke bomb. In the midst of the haze, the eccentric woman with a penchant for spiders called out to her companion, urging them to depart. Upon hearing this, Jing Cheng promptly commanded his loyal companion, the White Crane, to trail after her. The White Crane promptly accepted the order and proceeded to follow the spider. The boss and the other woman hurried towards the core. The Ozaro leaped into action, letting out a powerful roar as he warned the other that those 2 individuals were closing in on the core, and those 2 were in charge in the other one. Prior to the Ozaro and the redhead guy being able to catch up to the boss lady, an unexpected spider made its appearance, utilizing its intricate spider webs. The spider webs clung to the Ozaro and the horse pet beast. Both of them became stuck as they were unable to move due to the spider web. The Ozaro growled in frustration as it attempted to free itself, but to no avail. Jing Cheng was taken by surprise at the incredible speed of this spider. The person with red hair, a man, urgently called for Lord Bai to pursue the boss lady and the other individual immediately. He assured Jing Cheng that they would handle this spider situation. He was shouting in a hurry because the boss lady and the other lady were almost at the core. The other women refrained from informing her supervisor about Jing Cheng's arrival. The spider no longer went to their intended destination. Inside the spider lady was quite concerned for her boss as she was in a precarious situation. She spun around, ready to assist her boss, when suddenly, The fiery-haired man and the fearsome Ozaru broke free from the spider webs. Unleashing a deafening roar of fury, they both lapped at the spider, while lightning crackled around the Ozaru, and fire blazed around the horse-pet beast. The Ozaru forcefully struck the area where the spider had been, but the agile spider swiftly evaded the blow, causing the ground to erupt upon impact. The guy with red hair and his pet horse beast positioned themselves behind the spider, preparing to launch an attack. However, the spider quickly became aware of their presence. But it was already too late when the redhead guy skillfully used his spear to attack the spider from behind. The fiery beam emitted by the redhead's spear effortlessly cleaved through the spider, unveiling the hidden woman within. As she stood there, completely taken aback, the red-headed man skillfully launched an attack, causing her to crash to the ground with a loud thud. Dust and debris are scattered in every direction. After the chaos settled, the woman appeared visibly drained, unable to budge. The redhead guy cautiously approached to ensure she wouldn't make any sudden moves. The red hair guy sternly warned the little spider to give up, while Yuan Xiaoqing confidently stated that her plans would never succeed. The woman gazed at them with a tired expression, clearly drained and defeated. Meanwhile, Jing Chung intercepted them just in time, preventing them from reaching the core. Jing Chung calmly informed them that the spider cult remains stubborn and insists on being their enemy. He readied himself to confront, as he yelled that they were not deserving of sympathy. He skillfully used wind blades from his walking stick to fend off their attacks. The boss, lady, and the other person protected themselves from the assault. Jing Chung instructed his crane to utilize the swift wind cannon. The boss lady swiftly intervened, nullifying the attack from his crane just in time to save the other spider lady from harm. The boss lady wielded her blade with precision, unleashing an energy slash that crackled with lightning. With a swift motion, she effortlessly cancelled out the swift wind cannon. Jing Chung was aware that his white crane was associated with the wood line. Nevertheless, he acknowledges that it's impossible to suppress attributes, so they'll need to brainstorm alternative approaches. The boss quietly assured her colleague that she would provide backup and instructed her to proceed directly to the heart of the matter. The manager hurriedly approached Jing Chung. She fiercely launched an attack with her blade, only to be met with Jing Chung's swift defense using his walking stick. Meanwhile, the other spider lady swiftly bypassed him, determined to reach the core. Indeed, Jing Chung couldn't help but notice this, and without hesitation, he commanded his white-winged crane to intercept her. A majestic crane soared before her, causing the spider lady to come to a halt. She skillfully affixed it to the ceiling using her weapon. She managed to react just in time when the crane forcefully stomped its foot on the ground, narrowly avoiding being crushed. With quick thinking, she utilized the nearby opening in the ceiling to make a daring escape. Or, in this situation, to effortlessly glide through the air like Spider-Man, she gracefully swung over the crane. She wielded the weapon with increased speed. The boss was still engaged in a heated battle with Jing Chung, and he couldn't help but curse when he noticed that she had already reached the core. She couldn't help but think that the day had finally arrived. She began pressing a few buttons, feeling like she was getting close. She raised her voice in support of the spider cult, and then proceeded to push the button. However, her attempts to press the button came to a halt, as she found herself hindered by a rope tightly constricting her neck. Jing Chung was the individual responsible for choking her. He gave her a stern look, telling the invader that this fight is over. Meanwhile, the redhead guy and the spider lady were having a conversation. The woman pulled out her revolver as they were disputing about her being the intruder. However, the redhead and the other did not notice this. The spider woman was enraged and said that they were behaving like victims. She pulled out the revolver and prepared to discharge it. Yuan Xiaoqing was taken aback when he saw this. He was unable to react in time to prevent her from firing the gun. The man with red hair narrowly avoided getting hit by the bullet. Jing Chung was distracted by the boss lady. Nevertheless, her focus was not on the redhead guy, and the boss lady proved to be quite a distraction for Jing Chung, preventing him from reacting. He inwardly cursed as the bullet whizzed by, too quick to evade. However, just as Jing Chung was about to meet his demise, his loyal pet creature bravely stepped in, using its wings to shield him from the bullet. Jing Chung's eyes widened in surprise as he pondered the reason behind the white-winged crane's unexpected obstruction. As soon as the bullet hit the white-winged crane, a surge of electricity coursed through its body. The crane protected him because it instinctively knew that if the bullet were to hit Jing Chung, he would die instantly. The crane emitted a sorrowful cry, revealing the immense agony it was experiencing before succumbing to the powerful force of the lightning contained within it. Jing Chung called out anxiously for his white crane. The white crane's body disintegrated, leaving only its head. Even as its master worried over it, the crane had no regrets. It knew that if the bullet had hit its master, the same fate would have befallen him. So it died with pride, knowing it had protected its master. The pink energy came into contact with Jing Chung's hanging walking stick, causing it to disintegrate instantly. Lord Bai was extremely upset that his beloved pet had to perish, as he finally understood the reason behind his pet's unwavering loyalty. However, he was so preoccupied that he failed to notice the other spider lady retrieving the rope from her neck. She successfully pressed the yellow button. She was glad that it worked. The boss informed her to prepare for departure, as their mission had been successfully accomplished. Both the spider ladies departed in a manner reminiscent of a spider. Jing Chung felt a sense of unease, realizing that they had successfully accomplished their mission. As they were departing, the computer's timer reached 0. The explosion caused the crystal core to shatter, trapping Jing Chung in its destructive force. The following day, the news anchor reported on television that a powerful earthquake measuring 7.8 on the Richter scale had struck Balan City. The devastating event resulted in a tragic loss of life, with a total of 18,213 fatalities and 51,235 individuals still unaccounted for. She proceeded to explain that the protective shield launcher of Balan City had been destroyed by unknown terrorists, resulting in a Level 3 security breach. The city's defense soldiers are valiantly battling to resist. She mentioned that the terrorists carried out an assault on the Awakening Hall simultaneously. Lord Bai Jing Chung personally led the officers and soldiers from various departments in a counterattack against the terrorists. The capture of one of the terrorists has brought the situation under control, she said. Bai Xiaoan was aware of the situation, as he already knew that his grandfather had been injured in the battle, which is why he is currently in the hospital. The reporter on TV is speaking. Following the incident, Bai Qinji, the father of Bai Xiaoan and the deputy of the city lord's son, released a statement addressing the attack. Someone yelled at Xiaoan to move aside. Xiaoan stepped aside and witnessed his father speaking on TV about how they had collectively overcome this challenging period. He witnessed a soldier gently supporting his injured comrade, reassuring them that everything would be alright. Xiaoan's father further emphasizes the presence of exceptional soldiers in Balan City who are dedicated to serving the people. They are actively involved in earthquake relief and rescue efforts. As the soldier passed by, Xiaoan couldn't help but turn around and feel a deep sense of sadness. While walking in another room, he noticed another soldier who had lost his legs. His two comrades were discussing the situation nearby. Another soldier informed him that the doctor would be arriving shortly. The soldier lying in bed remained silent, aware of his impending demise due to the severe blood loss he had suffered. The other soldier reached out and held his comrade's hand, offering reassurance that they would make it through. Bai Xiaoan couldn't help but be reminded of a similar moment from his past life. The soldier, who was on the verge of death, weakly expressed his surprise that someone had gone to such lengths to rescue him. Bai Zian remained concerned about his captain. The captain grinned, informing the young child that he hadn't anticipated high expectations from him earlier, leading the child to believe he was a cold-hearted individual. The captain rubbed his head, realizing that he had made a mistake. He muttered softly, wishing he could go back in time. Before he could say anything else, he passed away, leaving Bai Xiaoan standing there, feeling helpless as he watched his captain die. That's all for now.